welcome to another episode of Worth the Calories, the series where I waste my calories so you don't need to. What episode are we on? I have no idea. I can't remember. I think it might be 32. I think it's 32, but don't quote me on that. You'll see it in the description. We're starting this one off with something from, well, they might be available in other supermarkets, but I've seen them in Tesco, and we have got protein pork and protein beef sticks. Yes. So I'm kind of getting pepperami vibes with these. I have put the details into NutriCheck just so I get it all correct for you. Right. Okay, so basically you get two. I assume these tear, so you know, yes, perfect for a lunchbox or as a snack to take out and about with you. One of these, if you had some slopping of chops then, it's Blossom having a drink. Anyway, one of these, this is the pork one, is 68 calories for 11.2 grams of protein, which is proper decent. Very, very good. And the beef one, oh, hang on, Nutra, what are you doing to me? The beef one is a few more calories. That's 104 calories for 9.6 grams of protein. So not as good as the pork one, but not bad. Not bad, not terrible. When we're looking at individual item, we do kind of like that 10 calorie to 1 gram of protein ratio. That smashes it. That isn't quite there. But the important thing, as always, well, not as always, is also how they taste. You know, it's not the most important thing, but it is definitely a massive contributing factor. It doesn't matter how good the protein is, doesn't matter how good the calories are. If it tastes like absolute cack, we don't want it. It's not worth the calories. Right, come on. Let's get straight in there. Right, we're going to go straight in with the pork one. So 68 calories, 11.2 grams of protein. So that's for that entire pack. Not bad at all. They definitely give pepperami vibes. Maybe beef pork jerky vibes as well. Something around there. Nowhere near as tasty as a pepperami. I assume that's because they've got quite a lot less fat in them. Hence why they're so good calorie-wise compared to protein. I'm having my second stick. Rather than being more salami, they've got more of a subtle taste of bacon, which I'm all right with, but they certainly don't give you a slap in the face when it comes to flavour. They could just do with a little bit more oomph for me. I'm not going to give you the final score for them. Let's try these beef ones. These beef ones are definitely a good few more calories than the pork ones with a bit less protein. But I'm hoping that flavour's going to be a bit better. Come on. Right. Can I have one more of these ones. For the extra calories of those beef ones, I was expecting a bit more punch of flavour because I thought the fat content's going to be a bit higher. Yeah, they're a bit, just a little bit lacking in flavour. They're not bad. They taste really nice, to be honest with you. I just want a bit more. I think, like I say, I was going kind of down pepperami vibes, and I really like a pepperami. Loads of flavour in them little bad boys. But you know what? They're all right. Maybe it's just me because I do like I say, I keep repeating myself, but I do like a punch of flavour. Yeah, I'd like a little bit more flavour, but they're not terrible. They're definitely quite pleasant. Do I want something a bit more than pleasant? Maybe. Okay, so these, I'm going to give these a 7.5 out of 10. Calories, amazing. Protein, fantastic. Flavour, just slightly lacking, but not terrible. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Worth the calories, thumbs up. These, bit more calories, and I don't know where those extra calories are going because you don't get any extra flavour for those calories. So the beef ones, I am going to say 6 out of 10. And for that, they're not worth the calories. So, pork ones, get them in your basket. They're all right. Great little snack, especially if you're a bit hungry mid-afternoon or something like that. Worth the calories, 7.5 out of 10. 6.5 for the beef. Just not quite there for me. Right, after a little dog walk, I am back. And I thought I was going to polish off both of those pork and beef stick packs. And I didn't. So that means I've got some calories spare. So let's do the second review of the day. Again from Tesco. I love popcorn. And it can be a real cheat code when it comes to weight loss. Because it's not really any lower calorie than, say, crisps. But because it's so light, you get a lot for not many calories, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's in this. Now, I like sweet popcorn. I like sweet and salty popcorn. I'm not too sure about mature cheddar popcorn, but we won't knock it until we have tried it. So in this pack, we have 6 10-gram bags. So rather small, but great portion control. And a 10-gram bag of these feels like a 25-gram bag of crisps out of a multi-pack. Yeah, these are just 20, no, I'm lying to you, 45 calories. You get a gram of protein, you get 1.3 grams of fibre, which for the calories, in terms of fibre, isn't terrible at all, but it's just a good portion control snack. Yeah, that bag, 45 calories. I'm not going to waffle on too much. I'm just going to get straight in there and try it. Doesn't smell too strong. Anyway, let's give it a go. I actually really like that. It's kind of got that, you know, kind of fake cheesy sort of taste, like quite intense cheesy taste, like what's it, you know? That's alright, like I say, for 45 calories, you get a decent amount. Excuse me. Do you know what? Yeah. Good though. That's alright. Don't get me wrong. It's not like absolutely blown me away, but it's different. I quite like it. So I am sitting now thinking, this was what, 68 calories, was it? 45 calories for like literally 110-ish calories. You could have a bag of this with one of these. And that's going to give you like over 12 grams of protein for literally a piece of bongo just in the back of my throat. I'm alright. I've survived it. Yeah, so one of them is going to be just over 110 calories. And it's going to give you over 12 grams of protein. How's that for a little mid-afternoon or evening savoury calorie control snack? I like that. In fact, while we're on, like I say, I wasn't going to eat all these pork backs, but I have got one left in my allowance because I've just put half in my app. By the way, if you can hear some crunching while I'm doing this review, Blossom down here has decided to tuck into her biscuits. She's like, Dad, if you're eating cheesy popcorn and pork sticks, I'm having some biscuits, mate. Anyway, let's get back to the popcorn. I quite like that. It's something a bit different. 7 out of 10. It's still not bad though. 7 out of 10. Worth the calories. Yeah. Next up on Worth the Calories, we've got a little bit exotic. We've got some ostrich steaks. Now, I've actually had these for ages, but I only really like reviewing things on here and doing a Worth the Calories for stuff that I know you guys can get hold of. Now, these came into Aldi, and then they disappeared pretty quickly. So I was like, well, I'm not going to review them because people might watch the YouTube and then they'll try and go and get them and then they're not there and so on and so forth. Anyway, I've been to Tesco recently and they sell these in Tesco's and they're a permanent addition apparently. So if you want to try a bit of ostrich, you can. They're not in Aldi at the moment, but they're definitely in Tesco. I've eaten a lot of things in my time, but from memory, I can't remember ever trying ostrich. I might have done, but I genuinely can't remember trying it. I did put a picture of these on my social media, and a lot of people said they could be like leather. That will be if you overcook them, because ostrich is extremely lean as a meat. One of these steaks is 146 calories for 24.3 grams of protein. So they're a red meat, but they do not have a lot of fat in. In fact, one steak has just 3 grams of fat. So yeah, if you overcook them, they're going to be as tough as old boots. Anyway, let's give them a little pan fry and let's try ostrich for the first time. Alrighty, here we have one ostrich steak done, 2.5 minutes either side, timed by Alexa to perfection. This is how they come. So they're already pre-cooked. They come in like a little sort of sealed, what they call, VAT pack packet. There's kind of like a bit of a gravy in here that's meant to be the marinade, but after 5 minutes of cooking, nothing left in the pan. It's meant to be barbecue seasoning. Anyway, there we go. They're not massive. I think I'd want 2 of those if I was having it for my tea. Plenty of protein in that. Nearly 49 grams of the stuff. Anyway, let's cut it in half. I'm not actually convinced this is going to be hot all the way through. Oh, it is. So it's got a little bit of pink in there. Like I say, really lean. You can see how lean they are. And again, because they're already pre-cooked, if you then overcook them, they're going to be tough as old boots. Anyway, let's give ostrich a go for the first time. Second dip. That is absolutely lovely. I think I've cooked that bang on the money. Not tough, not leathery at all. Basically has the texture of a well done fillet steak, which again, I'm all right with. The marinade is barbecue, I think. It does say it on here somewhere. I don't know where it says it. I'm positive it says well, it is barbecue. It tastes barbecue-y. So yeah, there's no like kind of sauce left in the pan, but you can definitely taste it on the steak. Flavour-wise, I was kind of expecting it to be quite gamey, but it just feels like a fillet steak with like, yeah, a barbecue seasoning on it. I can't really taste it. Well, the dog decided to kick off outside the house, which has then caused Blossom to kick off outside. Oh, there we go. A little Jack Russell and a little Shih Tzu kicking off. Blossom, I'm trying to do a worth the calories here. You can have some ostrich if you pipe down. Do you want a bit? Blossom, come here. What do you mean? Yeah, Blossom. Oh, do you want some as well, Betty? Both dogs coming in. What are you saying, Betty? Here. All right. Watch me fingers. Blossom. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely got the dog's approval. Not that I didn't think it wouldn't. Yeah, do you know what? If that was stuck on my plate and I didn't, no one told me otherwise, I just think it was a kind of barbecue seasoned fillet steak. And it's absolutely delicious. Full steak, done and dusted, little help from the dogs, nothing major. Would I have that again? Absolutely I would. Am I looking forward to having that one? Yes, I am. They are getting a 9 out of 10. And the old ostrich steaks, well worth the calories. Next up on Worth the Calories, we're going a little bit bagel crazy because there is a new range of bagels out from the New York Bagel Bakery, or the New York Bakery. It might not be a bagel bakery, but anyway, you know what I mean. We've got a lighter calorie one, we've got a protein one, and we have got a fiber plus one. Now, don't get me wrong, I know you can get like lower calorie bagels because they are like bagel thins. But these are meant to just taste like normal bagels, but lower calories, more protein, more fibre. We'll see, won't we? Right, let's, what order are we going to do them in? Do you know what? I'm going to do the lower calorie one first. You've got to toast a bagel. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not going to try one raw. I'm going to toast a bagel. I'm going to try it, is that why it's lower calorie? Because it's got a massive hole in it? Maybe. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm not going to try it raw. I'm going to toast it. We'll try it toasted without butter, with butter. Right. While that's in the toaster, let me tell you a bit about the bagel. So, it's 158 calories per bagel. That's about it, isn't it? It's just meant to... Right, while the bagel's in the toaster, let me tell you a bit about the bagel. Right, bagel's in the toaster. Let me tell you a little bit about the bagel. Well, there's not a lot to tell, really. It's 158 calories. It's not meant to have loads of protein in it. It's not meant to have loads of fibre in it. In fact, I've got the bits on my phone. I have saved the bits on my phone. Okay, so this bagel is 158 calories, 5.7 grams of protein, 1.8 grams of fibre. And if we compare that to a standard New York bakery bagel, they're 232 calories, so you're about 70, 80 calories less, 8.3 grams of protein, so you've got less protein in there, 2.6 grams of fibre, so there's a bit less protein, bit less fibre, but quite a few less calories. The important thing is, as always, how's it taste? One bagel has pot. I've got to watch me calories. If I'm doing 3 bagels, I can't do 3 full bagels. I'm going to basically do an 1/8 of each bagel, as it were. Right. While this is still hot, I'm going to try that bit there, no butter. And then a bit with some butter on. First of all, absolutely delicious. Delicious, no butter, delicious with butter. You would not know that is a reduced calorie bagel. But why is it a reduced calorie bagel? I think it's because it's smaller. Like I say, bagels don't normally have that big a hole. Let me weigh one. 55 grams. I can't find the weight of an original New York bagel. Let me have a delve in here and see what I can do. Because really, I'm kind of like, don't get me wrong, it's better portion control, but so an original bagel is 232 calories. Per 100 grams, it's 273. Right. So it's just smaller. An original bagel must weigh about 75 grams, something like that. So basically, they've just made smaller bagels to look like normal sized bagels because you've got a great big mahoosive hole. Like I say, I'm not a big fan of like protein bagels. I'm certainly not a fan of like protein thin bagels. I think they're like cardboard. That is delicious and it is more portion control. So, yeah, you know, they were a quid. So they're not ridiculously more expensive either. I quite like that. I like stuff that's portion control. I can't whinge. That's what, you know, or a lot of what weight loss is about. And they taste amazing. Absolutely delicious. So, I'm going to give them 8 out of 10 worth of calories. Yeah. Right, let's move on to the fibre bagel. We got there in the end with the old lower calorie bagel. I'll try and speed this one up a little bit. We don't need to go into too much depth with bagels, Neil. Anyway, I assume this is just basically a wholemeal bagel, which is giving it a bit more fibre. Again, I'm just going to have like an 1/8 basically of one. Let's get that in the toaster. And let's get on the old Nutri-Check and let's just do some comparisons. This is a sliced multi-seed bagel. It also looks wholemeal as well. So one of these is 174 calories. Standard bagel is 232. What does one of these weigh? 67 grams, so a bit bigger than the lower calorie ones. And this has 7.8 grams of protein and 4.2 grams of fibre. Compare that to a standard one. It's got slightly less protein because the standard one's got 8.3 grams of protein. It has got nearly double the fibre. Standard one's got 2.6 grams of fibre. So, again, I think it's just a bit better portion control, but it does have quite a bit more fibre in it. Like I say, 174 calories, 7.8 grams of protein and 4.2 grams of fibre. Decent. And again, these were just a quid. Right, here we go. So again, I'm going to have basically an 1/8 of the bagel. And then an 1/8 with a bit of butter on. Nice. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's as tasty as the lighter calorie one. It's quite sweet, but it is good. But I think what I'm toying with this is 174 calories. This is like 158. This is 14 calories more, which is absolutely, doesn't matter what your calorie allowance is, absolutely nothing. And this has got way more fibre in it than the lighter one, and it's got more protein in it. It doesn't taste as good. This just tastes like a really tasty standard bagel. It's kind of got a bit of a wholemeal bready flavour, but it also tastes quite sweet as well. And there is quite a bit of sugar in that. To be fair, there's quite a bit of sugar in that one as well. I'm on the fence with that. I am. Taste is important, isn't it? Protein, fibre, miles better in that for an extra few calories, but it doesn't taste as good. It's not bad though. Would I be quite happy with that? Bit of cheese on there, bit of ham, yeah, I would. 7 out of 10 worth of calories. Yeah, I'm going to say it is. Right. Last but by no means least, we're going in with the protein one. So this is 202 calories. So it's 30 calories less than the standard one. It's got 10.5 grams of protein. The standard one's got 8.3. So it's only got 2 grams more than the standard one. But it has got quite, not quite a few, but it has got less calories in it. This has 4.4 grams of fibre. So this has actually got more fibre than the fibre one. But it is slightly more calories. I can't get in the flipping thing. And it's, and the standard one's got 2.6 grams of fibre. And actually, this wasn't a quid. This was 86p. This was on a bit of a whoopsie. So anyway, I'm going to weigh it. Let's see what the weight is. Now that feels like a proper bagel, like size-wise. You can tell those two are a bit smaller. 80 grams. Right, so that is 30 calories than a proper bagel, and I think it is either slightly bigger or definitely the same size, which is great. It has got 2 grams more protein in it, and it's got nearly double the fibre in it. So really, bang for your buck, I think out of all 3, this is the best one. Of course, it also needs to taste good. Right, let's get it in the toaster and see where we're at. Got a confession to make. I'm just trying another one of that. Got a confession to make. I'm just trying a bit more of that fibre one. It's good, actually. I'm still standing by my 7 out of 10, but I was like, have I been a bit harsh on it? It's actually nice. Right. This is a protein one. No butter. With butter. That is delicious. 2.7 grams of sugar, so it's got way less sugar in than these two, so it's not as sweet. Though that one is really tasty. You can kind of tell it's a protein bagel in a way, but it does have the texture of a normal bagel. The taste is it tastes a little bit like a high protein wrap, to be honest with you. It's absolutely delicious. It's a great size. 202 calories. 10.5 grams of protein, 4.4 grams of fibre. I think it ticks all the boxes. That is the best one out of the lot. That's number 2. That is number 3. That is an 8.5 out of 10 worth of calories. Definitely, especially if you can get them for 86p for 5. Right, last up for this episode of Worth the Calories. I'm going to continue the bagel theme because I have grabbed these high protein bagels from M&S. And I don't think anyone could argue that these don't deserve to be called high protein. They're 217 calories each. They're 15 grams of protein. So we're going to do it the same as the previous bagels. I'm going to try a bit toasted plain and then a bit toasted with butter on. Oh, they smell good. Oh, they do smell good. Oh, they're not sliced. First world problems. Anyway, right, let me slice this, whack it in the toaster, and I'll be back, and we'll see if it is worth the calories. Here we go, toasting. Now, while this was toasting, I was having a proper good smell of the other half of the bagel, and I was like, oh, it smells really sourdoughy. Anyway, I was just reading on the packet, signature bagels made with sourdough. That'd explain that. And a blend of wheat and yeast protein. Right, we've got it toasted to absolute perfection. Let's try a quarter, no butter. Let's do a quarter with butter. Oh, absolutely delicious. Absolutely yummy. I can't actually remember how much they were. They're from M&S, so they're not going to be the cheapest thing in the world, but I wouldn't know it was a protein bagel. It just tastes like a sourdough bagel. Needs to be toasted. I always think bagels do. That is a banging bagel. Very, very good. And I'm going to give that, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. Worth the calories, 100%. Right, I'm cracking on into something else. We're not done yet. Why? Because while I was in M&S grabbing the protein bagels, I also managed to get, I've wanted to try this for ages, the chocolate hazelnut spread. I think this came out around Christmas time. I have been looking for it. Anyway, I spotted it, so I've got it. So yes, it's a Nutella dupe, but a protein Nutella dupe. I suppose it's kind of in line with like the grenade spreads that they do. Anyway, per tablespoon, if we compare it to Nutella, roughly the same calories, about 85, but you get 4.5 grams of protein from this. With Nutella, you get 0.9. So it's got 5 times the amount of protein as a bit of Nutella. Another big thing, it's pretty much 0 sugar, whereas Nutella has 8 grams of sugar. So it's definitely a healthier option with a bit more protein, but it needs to taste good. So let's get into it. Oh, it smells good. Need a little spoon. I love Nutella. It's just amazing. So I've kind of got high hopes for it. I can't expect it to be as good as Nutella, but M&S very rarely lets us down. It certainly feels healthier than Nutella, and it should do. It's nowhere near as sweet, and it doesn't have quite as intense a flavour, but it is very nice. It feels like you are eating a healthier Nutella, but I'm all right with that because, you know, at the end of the day, we need to watch our health. I didn't introduce that then, but yeah, I'm trying it on a bit of the protein bagel. I really like that. Look, it's not Nutella, and I'm not telling you not to eat Nutella. You can eat anything within your calories. You can eat anything that's slightly not as healthy as it should be, or you know what I mean. Everything within moderation, basically. The devil is always in the dose, and I will carry on eating Nutella. But is this a healthier, higher protein option, especially if you want to have something like a bit of Nutella every day drizzled on your porridge bowl or on a yogurt bowl? Absolutely it is. It's more of a sort of flavour. It does have chunks of hazelnut in, so it's not smooth. So if you're not you like the flavour of nuts, but you don't like the texture, then that might be something to consider. But I really like that. Will I be quite happy consuming the whole jar? Not in one go, of course. It is still quite calorific. Yes, absolutely I will. Will I be adding it to some yogurt bowls in the future? Again, absolutely I will. I'm going to give that a 7.8 out of 10. Worth the calories, less sugar, more protein, tastes decent. Absolutely it is. Right, that's it for another episode of Worth the Calories. I'm literally sat here editing it in my vest because I'm in my office, the sun's shining, and it is absolutely red as in here. Sat here editing it thinking, have I done a sign-off for this episode? No, I haven't. So I'm doing a quick one now. Kind of turned into a bit of a bagel edition of Worth the Calories, didn't it? Anyway, as always, any of those products, have you tried them? Do you agree with what I have said? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's it for this one. As always, in whichever way you are watching me, make sure you are bossing your weight loss.